we said we're going to talk about the scenarios, and I have given some brief description of what we have here. We have a table from a company that is making selling generators, normal generator, heavy generator, and power station generator. This is the selling price, uh, cost price, quantity, and profit. We got a function for getting us the total profit or the total revenue, and we have another function that is giving us the profit per category. So we said we want to create scenarios where we can simulate as many scenarios as possible. So how do you simulate these scenarios? So for one to be able to simulate a scenario, the first thing that we said was you go to the detail tab, then what if analysis. And the what if analysis gets the first feature under what if analysis, which is the scenario manager. When you click on the scenario manager, this is the interface that you're going to get. I wanted you to click on add. Once you click on add, then you're going to get this kind of interface. There's some entries that you need to make. One is the scenario name. Let us give this scenario a name. I'm going to give it an optimistic scenario. Optimistic scenario. The reason as to why I'm calling this an optimistic scenario is I want to assume that we are going to make better sales compared to the sales that we currently have. So under changing sales, I want you to highlight all the items or all the values under column quantity. Under changing sales, I want you to highlight all the values and quantity. You can choose to have a comment, but I don't like a comment under this, so I'm just going to leave it blank and then click OK. When you click OK, this is the interface that you're going to have. You are told to enter values for each of the changing cells. So we got changing cell 1, which is E7. You can see the absolute reference here. E7 refers to the silent generator. So how many cells? Let's imagine a situation whereby we make more cells of silent generators compared to the cells that we currently have. We currently have 20, so let us make maybe a cell of 27 silent generators. For the normal generators, we are currently selling 30 normal generators. Why can't we have maybe like 40? And the heavy generator, we are currently making 15 cells. Why can't we make it maybe like 25? And about the power station generator, we're currently making a cell of 6. Why can't we make it maybe 12? We're just doubling almost everything. Optimistic scenario. So after that, I want you to click OK. So once we click OK, we'll be taken back to this, our first interface that we came across. So we have a first scenario, which you can be able to see here. If you want to enter the scenario, you can click on edit. If you want to click the scenario, click on delete. But we want to add another scenario, so click on add. This scenario, we are going to call it pessimistic scenario. Pessimistic scenario. The reason as to why we are calling this pessimistic scenario is because although we are hopeful that things may get better, sometimes things may never turn to be the way we expected. The reverse can as well happen. So as the sales manager, you still have that in your head, that things can go from bad to worse. Remember, we got the same range of changing cells, that is from E7 to E10. If you want to leave a comment, you can say to have one, but I just like it when it is blank. Then, okay. Remember, because we are calling this a pessimistic scenario, we want to simulate a scenario whereby we are making lower sales compared to the normal or to the actual sales that we are currently making. So E7, where we have the selling generators currently making a sale of 20 generators. What will happen if we only make 17? For the normal generator, currently we are at 30. What will happen if we have that? We only make 15. For the heavy generator, remember heavy generator is the main source of our income, of our revenue. We are currently making a sale of 15. What will happen if we only make 10? And the power station generator, where we are making a sale of 6, what will happen if we only do 2? This is a pessimistic scenario, things going from bad to worse. Then, okay. Now, in our list of scenarios, we have 2 scenarios. We want to generate a report on these scenarios. You can make as many scenarios as you want by adding, and adding. Maybe any scenario that you can imagine of. So after doing the scenarios, I want us to click on summary. When you click on summary, you have to choose between 2 types of reports that you want. You want a scenario people table report or just a scenario summary. Let us just say we want a scenario summary, but there's a very important choice that you have to do here. You have to enter the result cells. And remember, the result cells is cell F12, where we have the total revenue. Then okay. So once you click OK, you'll be given this result summary or a report. Here you can see this is the actual scenario. This is where we are at. We are only making a total revenue of 9,000 US dollars. We created a scenario that we called optimistic scenario. Under optimistic scenario, we were hoping that things will get better and we are going to make better sales. If we make the better sales that we have indicated under the optimistic scenario, then we'll only be able to make a profit of $15,000. That is close to what that is more to compared to what we are currently having. And if things go south and we make lesser sales than the one that we're currently making, we have the pessimistic scenario. Then we're going to make a profit of 6,000 US dollars. The scenario report may not be readable because you got the cell references here, but we can still delete the cell references and have the actual product written instead of the cell references. The same can apply to the cell reference of the total revenue. Instead of us having the cell reference, we can just write here, this is the total revenue, but the report is so much readable. We can maybe resize this. And I'm just going to copy the products just like the way they appear on the table here. So the products, the way they appear. So we got the products. I can resize this so that every product is visible. So you can see this is the selling generator, the current values that we're currently selling, optimistic scenario, and everything is just perfect. Yeah, that is exactly what you need to do. Maybe you can have all this merged. You can merge that. and you can have these simulated scenarios. And instead of us having the current values, because we knew this is the current scenario, we can just edit it and call it current scenario. The current scenario is by default. So we have our scenarios here. We got the products. Maybe we can delete this column here. It doesn't make sense. Where has it gone to? Yeah, we have something like this. There was some kind of underwriting that was here. Notes, the current values column represent value, the changing values, and blah, 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 blah. All right, I think everything is perfect. So this is what you are calling a scenario manager.